So let's go through and check and see how we did on our one-step inequality examples. Okay, so number one, our variable is x. We're going to undo addition with subtraction. But at this point, I'm assuming that we can do our basic solving. If not, go back and watch our one-step equations. Okay, we're going to focus more on our inequality sign as we go through. So subtracting is not a reason to flip the sign, so our inequality sign stays the same. So we get x is less than or equal to -4. Okay, number two, we're going to undo subtraction with addition. Addition is never a reason to flip the sign, so our sign will stay the same. We'll get m is greater than or equal to -1. You can go through and graph these answers, but I'm not going to be graphing them in this video. Number three, we can undo subtraction with addition. Right? Addition is not a reason to flip the sign, but we do need to leave the variable on the right-hand side because that's where it started. And so when we rewrite this with the variable first, that will be a reason to flip our sign. So we'll get y is greater than 9. Number four, if we want to get n by itself, we are going to undo addition with subtraction. Subtraction is never a reason to flip the sign, so we know it's going to stay as greater than. Right? If you're doing it by hand, you would need to find a common denominator. If you're using your calculator, you could type into your calculator, right, 1 ABC half minus 3 ABC 4. Either way, we'll get an answer of -1/4. So if n is greater than -1/4. Number five, we're going to undo multiplication with division to get n by itself. Okay, division is a reason to consider flipping the sign, and we are dividing by a negative. So in this situation, we will need to flip the sign. We will get n is less than or equal to +4. Number six, to get b by itself, we are going to undo multiplication with division. Division is a reason to consider flipping the sign. However, in this situation, we are dividing by a +12. Dividing by a positive is not a reason to flip, so our sign will stay the same. Okay, but we will rewrite this with our b first. That is a reason to flip the sign, and we will get b is greater than 5. Number seven, to get c by itself, we are going to undo multiplication with division. We are dividing by a -7, so that is a reason to flip the sign, and we will get c is greater than -4. Number eight, to get w by itself, we're going to undo dividing by 7 by multiplying by 7. We are multiplying by a positive, so that is not a reason to flip the sign. 0 times 7 is still just 0, so we get w is greater than 0. Number 9, to get a by itself, we are going to undo dividing by 4 by multiplying by 4. Okay, there is a negative in this problem, but it's not what we're moving, so we do not want to flip the sign. And we will get a is less than or equal to -4. Number 10, to get c by itself, we're going to undo dividing by 12 by multiplying by 12. Again, you could use a calculator or you could do it by hand. Either way, we are multiplying by a positive, which is not a reason to flip the sign, and we will get c is less than 9. Number 11, to get p by itself, we're going to undo dividing by -9 by multiplying by -9. Okay, we are multiplying by a negative, which is a reason to flip the sign. So we will get p is less than -3. Number 12, to get k by itself, we're going to undo multiplying by a -13 by dividing by a -13. We're dividing by a negative, so that is a reason to flip the sign. So that says k is greater, or -3 is greater than k, but we want our k first, so we will rewrite this with the variable first, and we will get k is less than -3. Number 13, to get x by itself. Okay, you can either divide by 7/3 or you can multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/7. We are multiplying by a positive, so that is not a reason to flip the sign. And 21 times 3/7 will give us 9. So we get x is less than 9. Number 14, we are going to undo dividing by 5 by multiplying by 5. Multiplying by a positive 5 is not a reason to flip the sign. Again, you could use a calculator, you could do it by hand. So 34. So we'll get y is less than or equal to 34.